How does a Scrum Master facilitate great product discovery sessions? Well, that's going to be a tricky one to answer if I'm honest. First of all, facilitation is about stepping out of the work and letting others do it. And really, we are there as facilitators to keep people on track, make sure that they are talking about what they need to talk about, and hold that agenda, encourage the discussion, make sure that the people who want to have a say. Okay? And that's not going to change. It doesn't matter what the team is doing in the room. As a facilitator, that's what we're going to do. Now, when it comes to product discovery, what is our role going to be? Well, largely it's the same thing. Okay, first of all, we're going to be there predominantly as a facilitator. However, what you're going to want to do is go out and explore all the tools and techniques that people use, okay? Because you likely want to use one or more of those tools to build into your agenda as some exercises to get those creative juices flowing, so that the developers, so that the product managers, so that the whoever has been invited along to these meetings can really give of themselves as best as possible to understand the product space. A few tools that I really like, one of them, the value proposition canvas from Strategizer. Okay. Simply taking time out to understand a customer. What are they trying to get done? Why are they trying to get it done? And what's their experience? Okay, so the jobs to be done, the gains and the pains. And then looking at the other side, which is called the value map. What are the products and services we can bundle together? And what are the concrete features to create the gains or to mitigate, to relieve those pains? Simple structure. Okay, I use it in my product owner course because it's easy enough to teach quickly. It's simple enough to not get in the way of good conversations, but it is pretty comprehensive. It's complete enough to make sure you've talked about all the key things about that one customer and how you can best serve them. So for product exploration, that's one of the tools. Another one that I use is called impact mapping. I came across it from Gojko Asic. Can't remember how to pronounce his name. I apologize, Gojko. And, you know, we're looking at the why at the center. What's the goal? And then who's impacted by us going after that goal or achieving that goal? How are they impacted? So what's the difference that they're going to see, or how are they going to behave differently, good and bad? Okay. And what can we do, the actual deliverables that talk about how do we create that impact if we want it, or mitigate it if we don't, or remove it entirely if we're fortunate enough. What is it that we want to do to create that change in behavior or that impact on those people to achieve the goal? It creates a really nice line of sight and a wonderful exploration space. So those are two of the tools that I use. But what you've got to remember is make sure that the tool supports the conversation. Don't force them through a tool that's clearly not working. Now, anytime you introduce a new tool, there's going to be some teething issues and you need to work with your team on those and help them through them. But if, having spent some time, this just isn't working, make sure you've got one or two in your back pocket ready to go to keep that conversation going. Because exploration is hard. It's a difficult part of what we do, yet it needs to be continuous. The upside is once you find one or two tools that work with this team, it's going to be easy. It's going to get easier and easier as those creative juices more naturally flow, as they get used to the tools and techniques and the flows through it. Okay? So please remember you're a facilitator. Ultimately, you're there to make their lives easier. So introduce tools to your teams that help them do that. Okay? I would recommend reading around product management, reading around things like Google Design Sprints as well. And are there things in there that could help your team explore that space to the best of their abilities? If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.